Okay, so I'm going to take this medium wall, and I'm going to throw it in here so it'll be separate. And we're going to take a look at it and see if we're snapped where we want it. Probably not exactly where we want it, so we're going to hold that V key and drag it to there, so we have it there. It may have been right the first time, actually. Let me see. That may feel a little short. You know what the easiest way to find out? In fact, I'm not going to do the wall first. Because the thing that's going to decide how far each of these wall pieces go, right, is the starting door area. So I'm going to take this and throw it in there. Now this one needs to be zeroed out too. So position here, 0, 0. That's definitely not 0. 0. Okay, and then we're going to want to rotate this. So that's the wrong direction, and Max has done a job on us there. We'll fix that on the way out. 90. Oh, negative 90. Okay. And then we're going to rotate around it. And we're going to take this. If you remember, there's a vert right there. We want it to be on that side. So Control, we'll just hold the V button and just go to there. So we got our flooring set there. And then probably what we can do, and what I don't have set on is selection wire. Oh, so the wireframe's showing up. Oh, it's in the preferences. So I'll show you how to do that in class, but we kind of know where it is because we made this. So we want the vertice that's right there. Actually, it's showing it. It's just really light. We want this vertice right there. Maybe we can take off the grid. There. There's our vert. We want that one when we push V to be there. There's the perfect. That's the way it should be. Now when we throw our walls in and everything, we'll know it's set up correctly. So then I'm going to take a wall and I'm going to go ahead and make this a prefab, just in case we need it again, or because we want to. I'm going to change the name of this to wall door. Okay. I should probably call it hall door, but that's fine. Hindsight, right? Environment. I'm going to lock this one too so it doesn't keep changing on me. Go to wall. Medium, and then this one I'm going to come down here and hold V and snap to the correct spot there. So I've got one, and we're going to make this and actually I guess I can go to this medium, and then we're going to come inside of this. We're going to drag this into here, so we have our new prefab. We're going to go inside of that prefab, and this one we're going to add two. So Control C, Control V, and then holding V, we're going to snap it to itself, right where we want it. Yep, right there. And then we're going to call this Control Medium 2 seg. So it's going to rename both files for us, and then we're going to come back out, and then we have two of them. Now if we grab it and we hold that Alt button again, I'm sorry, V button again, it's sorry, got to copy. So I think there's a shortcut for copying too. My hands are in Max and our ZBrush right now. So see right there, check and make sure it's lined up, and there we go. So we've got this whole wall almost done. And you get the idea. Now, the other thing you need to do is probably open up this floor layout here and just come over here to floor layout and it'll show it. And we want to put this piece in here. So what I'm going to do is use this still to put some of these walls in because we know it's lined up where we want it to be too. I'm also going to take that light and rotate it a little bit so we can see a little bit better. There. Feels better when it's over here, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and do it a little bit more this way. There we go. Okay. Don't worry about this stuff, we'll fix it. Okay, so now if we take this camera, which is facing towards us, apparently. F is the zoom key, like in ZBrush. Move forward a little bit. There we go. So you can see the preview window when you select the camera of what you see in the game window, which for me is off screen. Okay, so we could do a couple things. We could take this, and it looks like 2 walls should fit here if I remember right. So I can take this. By the way, another thing we should do is make another empty, and we'll call this walls. And we'll take this. Actually, it looks like, yeah, it didn't rename the originals. But let's see if it's snapped to the right spot. Okay. So we have that one, and then we can do it again. Control-C-V. Oh, and put these both inside walls. And we'll move this one down. Oops. Down here. And snap it to itself. Okay. We can take this one and Control-C, Control-V, and then we can rotate it 180 degrees in the Y, because Y is up in here. So 180 is easy. And then we can move it back. Take a look at it from this angle. And hold the V button and come and snap it close to that. It looks pretty close. Yep, I got lucky. Pretty far away, but I still got it to work. All right, so all I want you to do is finish building out the whole room, or the parts of the room that we've made, all the way down to the end of the hall here, as I will. And I'll do it fast here, and you don't have to listen to me babble on. And then for Thursday, we will start looking at more stuff to do with the lighting and things like that. We're going to play around with lighting and mess with our textures. A little bit. We aren't going to paint them yet, but we're going to mess with them. All right. I'm going to finish this up, and you get to watch. Okay, so I've got it all built. I want to talk to you about a couple things I did. There's a couple of texture changes. I must have had something on these when I imported them in. Not a big deal because we're going to get rid of them all anyway. But a couple of things that I did that you may not have seen is, if you remember, if you watch when I did this, which is an end cap that I made for these to end these, you may have seen me do something weird, which was this. The original object is this way. So with 3D game objects, we're able to invert themselves without too much difficulty. Sometimes, in all honesty, it can be a little bit wacky, and we'll see if it is, but it should be fine because it's such a simple object. You don't want to do this with characters or anything, but then I just -1'd it instead of the positive space and inverted itself, kind of ripped itself inside out, and bam, now I've got a perfect end to that. So that's it. That's all I'm looking for today. Oh, my roof. Okay, so one more thing I did, and we're going to get more into this in a little bit, is I shrunk the size of this, and you'll notice when I select it, it should have this little blue line right here. That means it's a variant. That means it's not going to be whatever the master is. If I change these, it will change whatever other aspect of this is the same, but it shouldn't change the scale. So if I go inside of these, and I say, let's make these 2, then I come back out, then I look at this one, it's still the same width. So it's cool because you can lock out some of the crazy stuff that you may want to do to everything. You just do it to 1, and then it doesn't break the whole world. That's one of the things we're talking about, and that's not a variant. That's what's called an override, and you can pick and tell it to put it to everything if you want. But like I said, we're going to get into the overrides and variants in a little bit more detail as we get further and further down this. I do need one more wall here, or ceiling here. Okay, so if we look inside our room now, if we look inside of here, and by the way, you should see it. See, it's blue. That means you've done a override on one of your one of your prefabs. There it is. There's the room. That's what it looks like so far. If you want, you can put the back walls in. I'm just worried about getting this far right now because we've got a lot of little things we have to do since we're inside of here. We haven't got to the textures or anything like that. But what I do want is you to build out your room like we just did. Obviously, if you name them better, it's going to be better for you. Bam. If you want, you can cap it and put the door on the other side for now. That may be something to think about. We could just do that. But anyway, and that's it. All right, I will talk to you later.